Hey, my name is Jay Martin, and this is, I want to highlight a product for you. This is a really neat thing. This is a modification to Napoleon Total War called NTW3. And I believe it's made by a group called the Lords. Don't quote me on that. But what this is, or what you're looking at right now, is the Battle of Waterloo, as they have reimagined it. And if you look at the minimap, you can witness the horde of units up there. What this is it is possible to modify the game. Maybe you've seen this. What a mod is they can change a lot of the game files. They can add new units. They can edit old They can edit old units. They can change the way that the units behave or their characteristics. You can change all that. And what these guys have done is they have edited Napoleon Total War and came out with this mod called NTW3. And there's just such a ton of features. I'm not going to get a really good explanation for you, I don't think. But this product is fantastic. The simple version, or what I'm trying to say, is this is fucking awesome. What they've done is they've reworked all of Napoleon. They've changed a lot of the game mechanics. They've changed a lot of... they've added just an incredible quantity of units. And what they've done is came out with this massive modification. And what you were looking at right now is they've redone a lot of the maps and a lot of the historical battles. So this is the historical battle of Waterloo, as I mentioned. And it's massive. I think when I counted... I just got this like yesterday, so I'm still in the honeymoon phase with it, so I don't know a ton about it. But I think in this little scenario battle of Waterloo, like the French have 7,000 men and the British have like 9,000, which is kind of the equivalent of playing an 8v8, right, on a normal map. So there is just a ton of units to play around with. And what they've done is, I think, added a certain degree of realism. Like a lot of the maps, actually, they've released a ton of maps. A lot of the maps are much different. They're more realistic, and there's just so many neat things you can do. And I don't know if you're a fan of what kind of drew me to Napoleon in the first place. And Tripp and I talk about this a little bit every now and then. But I was really a fan growing up of the big strategy games, and before you could do it on a computer, we did it on like a tabletop with like a risk board and little cardboard pieces representing all the units. And when I first saw Napoleon, and what really got me into it was the idea that eventually we can do that with computers, can't we? And I think the time that we can do that with computers is now. Unfortunately, the scope of these modders is really, really big, and I'm not really sure that my computer can really handle this. I don't even have a fucking clue how many units I have at my disposal right now, but there's a ton. And I really drool over the idea of being able to play a 4v4 game like with these settings or whatever. And what you're watching right now is me trying to move all my units. I'm the French playing the Battle of Waterloo. And actually what's kind of funny is I was talking to Kraz earlier today, and I was like, is this like real? And Kraz has actually been to the actual battlefield of Waterloo, and he was like, yeah, this is way more accurate to what it really is, which is kind of cool. And they've reworked a lot of the other maps in Napoleon and everything. So there you go. A couple of the things about the mod that you need to know before you get into it. The first is that everything's a bit slower. So if you're used to playing Napoleon, which is a little bit more fast-paced, and you get a hold of this, you're immediately going to be a bit disappointed because it doesn't play exactly the same as it used to. There's a lot of little subtleties to it that I'm still learning, obviously. How's my cap charge going there? A lot of little subtleties to it. You're gonna have to learn those, but that's just the same as if when you first got the Napoleon game anyway, right? But there seems to be just so much more depth to this game. It's a lot more interesting. It's so much more realistic, and it's really fucking cool, man. I mean, it's really fucking cool. You get to play these epically large battles, and if you're okay, I know if you watch my channel a lot, you notice that every now and then I'll put up one of those like 3-hour marathon games that we play on Arclay or something like that, and I like that. I like playing those because I like the idea that Napoleon kind of as a simulation of those big old school strategy games. I like that. And if you're into that at all, and if you have the patience, I know a lot of players don't have the patience, but if you have the patience for that, this might be your thing. This is really cool. And so I don't want to obviously make you watch the entire video, because I have a hunch that this might take a while. But and you can see me assembling kind of a grand battery right here in the center, which is exactly what Napoleon did. But if you're into this kind of thing at all, I suggest you give this mod a try. And it's not just the historical battles, but just playing like 1v1, 2v2 is really interesting. Like Leo and I played. Did we just play one game? Yeah, I think we just played one game, but it was really interesting, man. It was cool, and it's different and kind of a new experience for playing Napoleon. So I really recommend you get it. I'll try to track down a link for it and put it in the description of this video. And I really encourage you to try it and give it a second try, because on your first time that you play it, you're going to be like, oh my god, this totally sucks. Because it's not like vanilla Napoleon. It's not like regular Napoleon. You know what I mean? So give it a try, and it's going to take some getting used to. Like, you can see how slow this battle is developing, but it's actually really interesting. So I encourage you to try. Oh, my artillery is finally shooting. Who are we shooting at? Maybe those guys? Dutch chasseur. I bet they suck. Like, this is really cool. It's a really nifty way to play the game. Yeah, what the fuck? Let's shoot at those guys. And it's designed to be played with artillery. I've noticed that the artillery is a little less powered than it is in vanilla. So, they've increased the scale of most of the units, except for artillery. And I think the idea is that they want you to play with artillery, but the idea is that artillery isn't as overwhelming as it is in regular Napoleon, is the idea. So, yeah, so have a good time with it. I really encourage you to check out the NTW3 mod by the Lords, and I'll put a link in the description. Whoa, what are you doing? Oh, you never unlimbered. Whoops, I just ordered my artillery to melee charge someone. That's smart, right? Bad artillery, bad. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. Give it a try. And I think that I'm going to, a bunch of the Huntsman guys are starting to get into this. So we might be playing games, or, maybe it's kind of awkward to host a game with this, because you kind of have to prearrange opponents, right? Because not everybody has this. So, but if you want to get involved with maybe playing this with me or my buds that I play with, you're more than welcome to drop me a line, and we can maybe arrange some games. Did I route them already? Dude, my artillery rocks. That's the old guard artillery, right? They gotta be awesome. Okay, cool. Where's Wellington at? Shoot his funky ass. Let's shoot his funky ass. Alright, whatever. Let's target those Dutch. They suck, right? Right? I don't know. Okay, anyway, I'll check you in the next video. Bye.